Good morning, DJ from Infinity TV. This question is for Coach Curt Miller. At the draft day, you talked a little bit about rebuilding the organization. We've been in training camp for a couple of days here. Can you talk about what pieces you're most excited for?
Yeah, excited. Obviously entering year two, coming off the draft, and getting into camp is always exciting. The first 3 days, we're running a ton at these guys. 17 healthy players right now, doing what we're starting in camp, and a lot of newbies and fresh faces. So throwing a lot at them, their heads are spinning, but they have been energetic, and what I really enjoyed was their openness to learn and process all the new terminology, all the new schemes, and doing it while still having fun. And most importantly, playing hard. But I'm watching our returners, which is less than 50% of that group of 17 that started on Sunday, watching new leadership emerge from the group. We had a long time legend of the Sparks and WNBA, and a lot of the leadership developed. So it's really fun to watch others find their voice, be more comfortable in their voice, kind of share leadership here. Early in the first 3 days at camp, but loving how they're working together, having fun together, and banding together as part of training camp, right? Banding and improving and growing from these failures.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning. Today, campus tonight, Kansas Media, Harvard 94. This question is for ratings. Two-part question. The first part, the recent news of Candace Parker retiring and all that she's done with this organization as well as the city. Are there any plans to retire her jersey or have a jersey retirement ceremony?
Thank you for bringing sessions. You're right. She's a part of the framework, the structure, the foundation, the roots of LA Sparks basketball. What she's done, she's a game changer. Game changer here in LA. She's a game changer in how we are playing the game today. She is, I think, one of the first on the women's side that we were able to look at and really see positionless basketball starting to develop. There's a lot of players that are playing today that you ask them who their favorite player is and was, and it was Candace Parker, and they've shaped their game after her. I can only imagine what Candace Parker would think like as a rookie in the league had she had the NIL experience. So many players that are coming into the league have now. But she's also created opportunity and I think set a standard of broadcasting, impacting the community, branding yourself, what she's done with Adidas as well. There's so many layers to who Candace Parker is and what she's done for this game, and we are so fortunate to have had her impact the Spark in the WNBA. We will honor her in the best way. I can assure you that that is something that has been talked about, but it's been her career, and in every way we wanted to part of honoring her is let her absolutely dictate the pathway. But we're excited about what's to come there.
Second part of my question is, obviously the league is growing tremendously, you all are growing. With everything happening around the league as far as David Clark coming, there any point where because of the impact of what this family pushes for like you guys play.
David Clark's impact is significant, but so is also Cameron Grace, Kia Jackson, Cardoso. This is an incredible class. We're going to see continued classes start to rotate into the WNBA in the years to come. And again, I would say that's part of the impact of Lisa Leslie and Candace Parker and all the other Sparks that have come before. But absolutely, we're very aware of the energy surrounding the WNBA and positioning ourselves in an atmosphere that really this game right now deserves.
TV. Coach, just looking at your three rookies so far and seeing both of them, what have you seen from them as far as them meshing with the veterans? What are you hoping to see them improve on as this training camp goes on?
It really leads with our impact that you have practices, start and she has a unique way of making people smile and making people leave with her already. She is, elite athlete for her size. You can see the immediate impact on why she's one of the truly great shot blockers that come out of college in a long time. She hunts that, and she's a very active defender. But offensively, she's played very little pick and roll during her time at Stanford. So there's a learning curve of watching her in pick and roll schemes that our league will be she'll be a part of. She has big time potential, and I'm really pleased with her out of the gate. Kia, it is that versatile. Working with her early, trying to figure out if she can be best at the four, she can be best at the three. Obviously, what we liked going into the draft was that versatility to play multiple spots and find her opportunities to score. As you heard on SportsCenter last night, her head is spinning a little bit, throwing a lot at her, but really excited about that. And then Mackenzie is beyond her years with basketball knowledge and is just real steady. What we've liked is people haven't been able to speed her up here early. She plays at a pace and a tempo that you can have success. She's got great basketball IQ, and she sees a lot of what's going on. She seems just so mature beyond her years. So really excited with the start of our three rookies. We got to give them some grace. We got to, be there for them with everything we're throwing at them. But all three of them are pros, and we look forward to working.
All right, we have two virtual questions. First, Brad Lake, and Chelsea, you'll be after Brad.
Yes, good morning, Reagan, and good morning, Coach. I have a question for you, Curt. In the first few days of camp, what have you seen in the development of Cam and Kia, especially on the defensive end?
I think I heard the question, Brad. Again, Cameron has impacted us immediately. In practice, she is extremely long. I think she's probably more 6'5" than 6'4". She has the ability to help us with rim protection, which analytically, again, how proud we were despite all our injuries last year being the #1 analytic defensive team after the All-Star break. But we lack at times some rim protection. So you can see that already. She can make up ground. She can cover for mistakes at the rim. She's rebounded the ball defensively, which is a big part of our defense, so limiting teams to one and done. And so again, what Cam comes in with the reputation as a great defender, you see flashes of it already. The physicality is something that she's going to have to grow into and learn how to use the frame she has with the physicality of the post game in this league. Raega, again, so much longer than people realize, giving her that versatility to both guard fours and threes. When you play her on the perimeter and you worry at times about those straight line drivers and elite athletic wings in her league, she has the size to be able to switch and get back on the post player. So a lot of fun trying to figure out how to use them both here early in the season.
Chelsea?
Hi there, Chelsea Late Winsider. I have a question for both of you regarding your upcoming trip to Edmonton. What does it mean to be able to be a part of growing the game in Canada? And what specifically are you looking forward to playing in Edmonton this weekend, especially having Kia Nurse on your team, who means so much to the sport in this country?
Thanks for that question, Chelsea. Well, first of all, it snowed in Edmonton yesterday, so we have to make sure that sweats are jacket players. But definitely with the Toronto game last year, this year we're getting to participate in Seattle and it's an effort I think, by the WNBA, the NBA, to really just continue to globalize our game and not just introduce the W to Canada, but introduce Canada to the W. And they'll continue to build on those relationships. Kia Nurse absolutely has great ties to that area. Her brother was just in LA playing the Kings, so she and some of her teammates were able to go and support that game and cheer for her brother as well as the Kings. So it's exciting for us. What we hope, not only as a team, that we go into Canada and learn a lot about our team and be able to see some people when they actually get the uniform on and the whistles are available, how they perform. But we also hope that in 15 years, there's some little girl that watched that game in person and walked out of that arena with a new fire in her belly about women's basketball and what she can go do. And it was because of that game.
So, yeah, I'll add, anytime you can help continue to grow our game globally, it's really important. So excited to be in Canada. Obviously, well documented that I have a long, extensive history with the Nurse family. I coached back in college Kia's aunt, but I also coached Kia's sister in college and recruited Kia at the collegiate level in Indiana. Unfortunately, ultimately, Gino might be better for her than I was. So have a long history with that family. She's up in Edmonton, where her brother also is a professional athlete. Is a full circle moment for me because of being around that family as much as I have been. So really excited. This has not been an easy trip to put together at the last second. So tons of hats off, fist bumps to our front office to allow this trip to even happen. The amount of work that's gone into a trip that will be approximately 24 hours has been absolutely amazing and doesn't go without notice from a coach on how much work has gone in behind the scenes to prepare our team for the upcoming travel. I'm excited to play in front of this great crowd in Edmonton and roll out against a very talented, star-studded Seattle team to see kind of where we are 4 or 5 practices into our build and 4 or 5 practices into this new era. So look at it as a great opportunity and big picture, able to help the W keep growing.
Awesome, thank you.
John, and then Alexa, you'll go virtually next.
Good morning, John Davis, Southern California News Group. 2 questions. I'm wondering what is allowed to manage a training roster of 18 players opposed to 15, like I normally see covered. And also, just wondering for each of you, as GM, how are you going to create success when most people are struggling against losses? The same thing.
It's a good question, Don. Unique. It's not like franchises around the league haven't put 18 or more players through training camp in the past. But with prioritization and everybody needing to be there on day one, this is a unique opportunity for our league to have larger training camps from the start. How does it impact the coaching staff? Well, every drill takes a little bit longer to get everybody reps. And intentionality about getting people the reps and opportunities in practice without sacrificing what you use during the camp at time for to make sure everybody's in game shape. So everything is being tweaked on that practice plan to take into consideration those extra players. We started with 17 players that first day. We are now down to 16 healthy players. It's just larger camps, so it's going to be those extra seats even in the film room, something that you have to consider something as small as that. But it bodes for a very competitive camp, a lot of healthy competition, a lot of people fighting for those last roster spots, which ultimately competition in camp only raises the level of play.
I would say, just to add to it, I think, the NBA, they're 21 in training camp. So this is growth for our league, and we're proud of that growth. That's growth that the players and coaches and front offices have fought for. But I would say it's It's not unsurmountable to imagine trying to get 18 players quality training camp time. It is a short training camp, which is a bigger challenge, I think, the number of days and the number of players. As we continue to grow our league, these are opportunities that I think will pay off down the road for players and for coaches and front offices. As far as measuring success, I think there's a few measurables that say, is there joy in our locker room? Is there joy on the floor? Is there joy in stands? I am loving Curt reference, Cameron and how she makes people smile. This is a joyful group as they're out on the court. They love being in LA. They love the growth that we are making, the significant impacts and the differences that they're already starting to see. I think they're having a lot of fun with emerging as leaders with this group and being able to, speak to their true self in that space. And we want to see that joy sustained and that buy-in sustained throughout the season. We also measure full success. We want to see it, and I'll be very transparent. We use 9 years numbers approach and we built this roster. Our goal is that we are building organizationally a 4-4. We want our top 6 to be arguably starters for any other team in this league. We want every player on this roster to be high EQ, high IQ, great culture fits, great skill sets that fit the system that Curt's building. And we believe those things can all lead in the end to that we can championships. Championships aren't usually built overnight. It takes time, but just sustainment and grittiness and resiliency and clear vision of the direction we're heading is something that we're continuing to measure success.
You have one final question, Alexa.
Hi guys, Curt, these are for you, but Reagan, if you want to hop in on any of them, please do. First, I just wanted to know what is your own personal comfort level at this point? Like this being your second training camp now with the Sparks. I'm sure last year you were just it might have been a lot of just things to get used to. I know it's a different roster than last year's, but how do you feel kind of at this point in year 2? And then secondly, what do you envision the offensive identity of this team being given some of the roster changes? Who do you kind of hope to take on those major roles on that end of the floor?
Like I think, obviously there's just a comfort level being in LA in year 2 in some ways, with some of our off-season changes and direction, it almost feels like year 1 in terms of the building a lot of those fundamental bases that we believe in and our schemes. But there's a comfortability of just being out here in LA. I love living in the South Bay. The more comfortable you are with you bring that also into practice every day. So loving all that. Our offensive identity is, again, we're not going to play as much through one person. Like our leadership, which is going to be a shared leadership approach and a lot of conversation with a group of veterans and not just one person or a person that dominates the leadership. Our offense will be the same way. I think we'll be best with equal opportunity. You saw me do that even with some of the stars we had in Connecticut, that it was an equal opportunity offense. And while there were great players there, we were always better when we had balance amongst the players that were playing. So that is the ultimate goal. I love how Lexi Brown is shooting the basketball early on. Really excited about that. Our post depth, it is showing even despite not having Raega. Again, I'm a big unintended consequence person. Unfortunately, if you look at my 8 years in this career, a lot of the story has been written about the injuries that we endured through the years in Connecticut. But each one of those injuries, and season-ending injuries to stars, opened up the door for another opportunity. 17, Janae Lumike's out. Actually, we moved AT to the 4. She's now the best facilitating 4 in the world. Does that happen without an injury? JJ's opt-out in 2020 opened the door for Bree Jones to emerge as an all-star. And you can go on and on and on during that. Last year, a lot of injuries opened the door for others here in LA to have career years. Once again, a little snake bitten with 2 projected starters with serious injuries right before the start of training camp. Are just going to open the door for opportunities for others. And those are the unintended consequences pros take advantage of and may have needed just that little crack in the door to become their own a bona fide superstar. So I'm looking forward to establishing our offensive identity of a collective group. We're going to play a little bit more up tempo. We're going to be a little bit more modernized, and when I use that term, more 5 out. But again, I'm a pick and roll coach. Our system's still going to be defined by a lot of pick and roll. And I'm getting back to my basics. Even with some of the changes, we still believe through the years, the success of our team that I coach defensively, that's still going to be our calling card here in the league. We've got to be a physical, dictating, disrupting defense.